What makes Samson's incredible strength and destiny so inspiring? In the land of Israel, during a time of oppression under Philistine rule, a miracle took place. A barren woman named Hannah was visited by an angel of the Lord. He brought her incredible news. She would conceive and bear a son. This son, the angel declared, would be set apart for God from birth. He would be a Nazirite, bound by a sacred vow. Hannah's heart overflowed with joy and gratitude. She named her son Samson, meaning son or strong one. True to the angel's words, Samson grew strong and powerful. The Spirit of the Lord was upon him. He was set on a path to deliver Israel from the Philistines. As a Nazirite, Samson was forbidden from cutting his hair. His long, uncut hair became a visible symbol of his vow and the source of his extraordinary strength. Samson's life was a testament to God's power working through those who were dedicated to him. Samson's journey also serves as a beacon of hope. It highlights the strength found in faith and the triumph of the human spirit. Samson's story reminds us that God can use anyone to fulfill his purposes. It doesn't matter who we are or where we come from. What matters is our willingness to surrender to him. God can empower us to do extraordinary things, just as he did with Samson. But we must choose faith and obedience over our own desires. We must learn from Samson's journey and seek to live lives that honor God in all we do. Samson's weakness, however, was his attraction to Philistine women. He fell in love with a woman from Timnah. Blinded by his desire, Samson ignored the warnings of his parents. They pleaded with him to choose a wife from among his own people, but Samson was determined to have her. At his wedding feast, Samson posed a riddle to 30 Philistine men. If they couldn't solve it, they owed him 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. The riddle was based on an encounter Samson had with a lion. The Philistines, unable to solve the riddle, resorted to trickery. They threatened Samson's wife, forcing her to betray his trust and reveal the answer. Samson, enraged by their deceit, slaughtered 30 men in Ashkelon to fulfill his end of the bargain. This act of violence ignited a fierce conflict between Samson and the Philistines. Samson's anger, fueled by betrayal, led him down a dangerous path. His actions had unforeseen consequences that would continue to haunt him. The story of Samson's riddle is a powerful reminder of the dangers of temptation and the devastating consequences of betrayal. It teaches us that our choices have consequences. It highlights the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who will support us in our faith and hold us accountable for our actions. The betrayal of his wife and the treachery of the Philistines fueled Samson's rage. He sought revenge for the wrongs he had suffered. His anger burned like an inferno. He set out to make the Philistines pay for their deceit. Samson devised a cunning plan to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. He captured 300 foxes and tied burning torches to their tails. Then he released the foxes into the Philistine fields. The fields were ripe for harvest, but Samson's fiery vengeance turned the bounty to ash. The Philistines, upon discovering the source of the devastating fire, retaliated with cruelty. They sought out Samson's wife and her father, holding them responsible for Samson's actions. The Philistines burned them both alive. This act of barbarity only served to intensify the conflict. It pushed Samson further down a path of vengeance. Driven by grief and rage, Samson launched a furious assault against the Philistines. He struck them down with an almost supernatural strength. During one battle, he found himself weaponless, but God empowered Samson to use the jawbone of a donkey to slay 1,000 Philistine soldiers. Despite his victories, Samson remained a captive to his desires. He fell in love with a woman named Delilah, ignoring the lessons from his past. The Philistine rulers, desperate to defeat Samson, offered Delilah a fortune to uncover the secret of his strength. Delilah, motivated by greed, betrayed Samson's trust. Samson, weary of her constant questions, finally revealed the source of his power. His uncut hair, a symbol of his vow to God. Delilah, seizing the opportunity, betrayed Samson. She had his hair shaved while he slept. The Philistines captured Samson, blinded him, and forced him into slavery. In his captivity, Samson repented of his sins and sought God's forgiveness. His hair began to grow back. During a Philistine festival, the Philistines brought Samson out to entertain them. They mocked him, unaware that his strength was returning. As the temple echoed with laughter, Samson prayed to God for one last act of vengeance. With newfound strength, he pushed against the pillars of the temple, collapsing the structure and killing himself and all those within. Samson's story, though tragic, is a testament to God's power and forgiveness. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, God can redeem us if we turn to him with a repentant heart. It's a story of strength, betrayal, and ultimately, redemption.